It's not so easy to introduce myself because talking about myself is not my big passion, but I will do that now. So in 2015 I was diagnosed with breast cancer, but I had a life before as a sportswoman and a sports journalist. I had my own magazine, a mountaineering magazine. It was called Mountains for You. It was the first Europe-wide tablet magazine for mountain sports. And when I came back from my expedition, end of November in 2014, I had quite a bad feeling on my right breast. So I was on expedition in Papua New Guinea at the Carson's Pyramid for climbing. And I went to the doctor and they diagnosed 5 malignant tumors in my right breast. So I already knew on my expedition that there is something wrong because I didn't eat so much and I was tired the whole day. So during the day while climbing, everything was totally fine. But when I came back in our base camp, I was tired. So the diagnosis was the solution. So I went to the doctor and they diagnosed, okay, you have breast cancer and you have to do all that shit. I have to tell you, it's shit. In the very beginning, when you get this diagnosis, you don't know what's coming up. That's the best thing. If you don't know what's coming up, you go to the doctor, they recommend you this and this and that. Then a friend of mine, he is the hospital director in Hamburg. He was with me on my expedition in Papua New Guinea. So I just called him. I took the plane, took the plane to Hamburg, and we went out for dinner, and I gave him everything, and he read it and said, okay, it's not so good, but you can survive that. That was all. He said, you can survive that. And this was the recommendation I needed for my life. You know, I needed someone. I trusted him in the mountains, up to 5,000 meters by climbing. So when he tells me that I will survive that, I will. That for me it was, yeah, I knew that. It was a bigger shock for my children and my family than it was for me, because I know I am a hard fighter.
When Petra had cancer, one of her main problems was that nobody wanted to do sports with her because they were afraid to harm her because she's sick and she should stay at home, but she felt otherwise. She felt that if she's doing sports, she would feel much better after that. And I told her, I don't care, I go skiing with you, because if you feel better, it's the best thing that we can do. And so we went skiing together, although she just had chemotherapy, and I think it was the best thing we could do. And if you are outdoors and if you feel good and if you move around and if you train your body and also your mind in the end, I think it's much easier to overcome a disease, no matter if it's cancer or anything else. I think if you are physically and mentally fit and if you keep yourself exercised and you are out in nature, a lot of things are easier to overcome.
You have two possibilities in your life. You look to the nice parts or to the black parts. So if I'm a positive person in a way, you know, and I know that the diagnosis of cancer is horrible for everybody. And but I always try to convince people that they should look to the sunny side of their life, because there is also a reason why. Because if your psyche is good, your immune system is better, so your health is better. So this it's a vicious circle, you know. If you're always looking on the gray points of life, what could not happen, or what could happen, or what bad things can arrive, or what can hit my life in a bad way, it will hit your life in a bad way.
I'm since 2009 working as a professional freeride skier and adventurer. And I came here to Bosnia together with Petra, who I met about 7 years ago. Back then she helped me getting a big brand as a sponsor. During that time Petra got sick and I was all the time not personally at her side, but I witnessed the procedure and what happened during her disease. And the main problem she had that she couldn't do any sports because nobody was at that time open for doing sports when you are sick, especially when you have cancer.
There are a lot of cancer patients who do some Instagram accounts and talk about their disease, and I always wanted to show the realistic options you have. And physical activity is the most important realistic action you can do for yourself to stay or to get healthy. And this is, for me, it was just good. It was perfect. It was my lifestyle.
In our modern society, we have one problem that we think if someone is sick, we should stay in bed and rest. And resting is sometimes okay if you have a flu, if you're really sick and you have a temperature of more than, I don't know, 38, 39 or 40, then of course you should stay in bed. But a lot of diseases demand physical activity, and there are a lot of studies meanwhile that show us that if you are more active and you do sports regularly, you can much easier overcome the disease. And I think this has to come into the heads of all of us.
I had one good friend who went mountaineering with me during the whole time. This was really amazing. And I felt good. Sometimes we went up with the skis 1,000 meters in high and we lost only 15 minutes till the times before. So I said, okay, if I'm strong, other people can be that strong as well. And one day he said to me, Petra, we have to do something for women with breast cancer. And then I said, okay, you have to wait now. First of all, I have to get healthy again, and then we can do that. But this took me, you know, it was like you give me something and I have to think about that all the time. And 3 days later, I did this outdoor against cancer. It was like I had to do this. In the first step, we had an international press conference with 120 international journalists. I can show you a picture. I was sitting there without hair, and I felt in a way good, but I was a bit more shy than I'm now. I'm confident. I feel confident with all the things I'm doing. And from this moment on, nothing happened too much. Firstly, I had to finalize my chemotherapy. Then I had to do this mastectomy, the radiotherapy. But in the same year, the 2nd December 2015, I did my first outdoor training with cancer patients. So this all showed me that I have to proceed. And in 2016, I've got an email from the European Commission. They sent me, oh, Mrs. Thaller, we want you as a speaker. We have a workshop in Brussels. It's called The Fight Against Cancer is a Team Sport, the role of education and sports. And it was with the Olympic Committee and the World Health Organization. And this was the first time in my life I was in Brussels, sitting in the European Parliament in one of those rooms and speaking in front of politicians.
Thank you, Petra. Thanks for being here and thanks for sharing this with us.
I never thought that this can happen. So we applied for funding, and in September, I think 24th of September 2018, we've got funded with 5 European countries for a project. It was called Outdoor Against Cancer, Move Yourself, Go Out and Live. And this was the very beginning of everything, you know? it was interesting for me to do these mountaineering magazines, you know, but this makes much more sense. And it's good at the age of 60 if you have something. I don't want to stop working in a way, so I want to continue my healthy lifestyle. I want to continue to convince people that they have to care for themselves, because it's not always the thing that you can go to the doctor and say, heal me, I'm ill, you have to heal me. No, you have to stay healthy. So in a way, Outer Against Cancer is on a way that we convince different countries in Europe, and we are also in South Africa or Morocco and Turkey, that we are able to convince people that they change their lifestyle.
U principu ta neka energija koju nastojimo da preusmjerimo na druge ljude i da budemo od pomoći široj društvenoj zajednici je nešto što nas povezuje. U ovih nekoliko dana boravka Petre i ostatka njenog tima iz Njemačke, odnosno iz Austrije u Bosni i Hercegovini, ja sam planirao da posjetimo neke lokacije, prije svega turističke, da obiđemo Sarajevo i na kraju krajeva da učestvujemo u jednoj skijaškoj utrci na našoj olimpijskoj planini Bjelašnici, a nakon toga da u tim pauzama između tih obilaska turističkih destinacija i tih sportskog tog druženja razgovaramo o projektima koje Petra namjerava realizovati u Bosni i Hercegovini. To je jedan od ciljeva zapravo njene posjete, da se ona na licu mjesta uvjeri da mi imamo potencijal i da mi možemo preuzeti dio tih njenih globalnih planova u kojima ona namjerava da projekte svoje organizacije proširi i na Bosnu i Hercegovinu. Ja sam to shvatio iz prvog kontakta da ona želi Bosnu i Hercegovinu da dođe i da na kraju krajeva svi mi damo određen doprinos da ti projekti budu realizovani u Bosni i Hercegovini. To je u principu i naša obaveza da stvorimo neke nove mogućnosti i da stvorimo neke nove prilike za ljude koji čekaju svoju šansu. Shvatili smo da imamo jedan zajednički pogled na svijet i jednu obavezu da budemo od koristi našoj široj društvenoj zajednici, da budemo od koristi ljudima koji čekaju svoju šansu da budu koristan dio društvene zajednice, da nađu, da se pomjere sa nekih margina društvenih zbivanja i da budu aktivni, da se uključe u društvena zbivanja, na kraju krajeva da budu okrenuti ka sportu kao jednom vidu rehabilitacije i osoba sa invaliditetom, ali i osoba koji se bore sa tom opakom bolešću.
It's a health promoting and disease prevention mission we have. And we have 4 pillars. It's outdoor physical activity, healthy environment, healthy, well-balanced nutrition, and mental health. And this all belongs together. We have to know, and I'm aware that Germany is not Bosnia-Herzegovina, for example. And here people have much bigger problems than just not eat too much, or, you know, I'm aware of that. And we applied for a project with South Africa. We also are aware that there the conditions are different. But if not OAC or ORC, who would do that? So we are working really for some month we don't earn money. We just working for this healthy lifestyle thing. And every day we proceed a bit forward. So, and that makes me happy, and all the guys who are working with me or for me. Yeah.
Neki prvi konkretni kontakti i neki prvi prijedlozi i za suradnju i za neke buduće projekte došli su prije otprilike 3 mjeseca, kada smo kontaktirali putem društvenih mreža i putem naravno maila u kojem je ona izrazila želju da ja kao osoba sa invaliditetom budem na toj nekoj volonterskoj osnovi član upravnog odbora te velike njemačke organizacije. Naravno, obzirom na njenu misiju koja je prije svega humana i humanitarna, ja sam prihvatio sa oduševljenjem, naravno, zato što neki naši pogledi se u nekim dodirnim tačkama se zaista poklapaju, imamo jednu zajedničku viziju da želimo pomoći ljudima i da je naša podrška na bazi onoga što smo mi prošli u životu je nekome je možda inspiracija, nekome je možda dobar put da pokuša prevazići probleme koji se dešavaju u životu svima nama, i zdravstveni, i psihički, i psihološki, i naravno taj neki moj background koji je bio vezan za paraolimpijske igre, za ski klub osoba sa invaliditetom, za taj neki motivacijski dio pogotovo je njoj išao u prilog i ona je nastojala da mene na neki način pozove da budem dio te organizacije.
Nijas Mimic, he is a friend of mine, and when we talked the first time 2 years ago, I think during this period when COVID started, we talked about outdoor against cancer for Bosnia, and then I promised him the first idea which is crossing my way, that we can go there and bring some money to the country and to proceed in Bosnia and Herzegovina with this project. I will do that. So I did it this year, and this is the reason why we were here for this Born to Ski race and ski mountaineering. And I'm proud that Nijas is really one of my best friends.
Petra ima zaista jednu humanu misiju koja se tiče osoba koje su oboljele od karcinoma ili u tom rehabilitacijskom periodu ili u periodu prevencije. Ja sam želio dati neki svoj doprinos u tom smjeru kao osoba koja ima neki težak period iza sebe u životu i stvari koje sam preživio kao učesnik rata u Bosni i Hercegovini, odnosno kao neko ko je tokom rata u Bosni i Hercegovini izgubio nogu, i zaista u tom nekom narednom periodu nastojat ću da tu saradnju dovedem na jedan veći nivo i da u Bosnu i Hercegovinu dovedemo projekte koje Petra radi širom svijeta na 2 kontinenta u ovom momentu, i zaista bit će mi posebna čast i zadovoljstvo da kao dio te njemačke organizacije dam svoj doprinos u tom smislu.
You know, if you are sick, most of the people are scared. I don't know what they are. If you decide for yourself you can do that, right? And you know that the self-esteem of people, so how they see themselves, most of the people don't see them stronger as they are. They see themselves weaker as they are. So it's not a problem if someone wants to go for a hike, for a bike ride, or for a climb, or whatever, skiing, you can trust them. You know what? You don't have to ask everybody. So you can trust the people. If I'm telling you I'm strong enough to go up the mountain and ski down, you have to trust me. That's very easy.
For me, Petra and Nias both are a big inspiration to me with their disease and Nias, what happened to him on the landmine. It shows to me that almost everything is possible as long as you just don't give up and do everything to succeed and to overcome the problems. If I compare what I did in the past, I've been on many expeditions all around the world in very exposed terrain in the Antarctica. It's all like kindergarten compared to what they had to overcome, and that's why they inspire me so much. I learned from Petra that no matter what idea you have and how crazy the idea could be in the beginning, or how crazy it could sound in the beginning, if you really want it 100%, you can make it come true. And that's what I learned from her, that there's never a situation that you can say, I have to give up. I think never giving up is one of the keys that Petra has in her mind.
For me, when I'm sitting somewhere in the mountains, it's like getting charged. You know, it's like mountains are like a charger for my life, and for my energy, for my creativity. So if I'm in the mountain, I really come down. It's good for my mental health, by the way, and I have really great ideas. So I stay physically active. I am really relaxed in a way. And good new ideas are born while I'm hiking or ski touring or climbing in the mountains. And the mountains here in Bosnia, Hercegovina, it's like you go up with the first step and then it's big area over there. And then you have a second step and you have the impression that you see all over the world. You see one peak after the other, and it's like, if you're up there, what can happen to you? Nothing anymore. You are already up there. You have a great overview, not only over the mountains, also over all things that are happening around you. So mountains, and especially those here in Bosnia-Herzegovina, are really, it's like being home.